A very good afternoon to Madam Salastri, and today uh, me and my teammate Simon Ma will be presenting our ITT300 group project. The first one is that we have to set up our topology. The switches that we are using is Cisco 2960. Then we have to set up our PCs. The type of PCs that we are using is Windows with terminal emulation program such as Term. Now that we have set up our switches and our PCs, it's time for us to rename our switches, which the first switches is S1 and our second switch is S2. And for PC, we rename it according to the addressing table, which is PCA and PCB. Next step is we have to make a connection between the PC and the switches and between the switches as well. In order for us to do that, we have to connect the PC to the switches using copper straight through, and we are connecting PC respectively to their switches. The ports that we are connecting from PCA to switch 1 is fast Ethernet port 6. The next one is that we have to connect PCB into switch 2, and we are using fast Ethernet port 18. Now that we are connecting both PC to their respective switches, in order for us to link all of the devices, we have to connect both switches using fast Ethernet port 1 to each other. Next step is that we have to visually inspect the network connection. Okay, so the green arrow from PCA to switches 1 indicates that it is connected. PCB to connected to switches 2 indicate the same, which is it is connected and both switches are also connected as well. Now we are heading to step 2, which is configure PC host. First step is that we have to configure static IP address information on the PCs according to the addressing table. The first step that we have to do is to go to PCA, and we have to go to IP configuration, and then we set up the IP address according to the addressing table. The subnet mask will automatically be set up, which is 255.255.255.0, which is its default setup. The next one is that we have to set up PCB the same as PCA. We have to set up the IP address, which we have to go through PCB, and we have to go to IP configuration. And the subnet mask will be set up the same as PCA. Now that we have set up both PC with their own IP address, we have to verify the PC settings and their connectivity. It is shown that both PC have their respective IP address according to the addressing table. In order for us to verify that the PCs are connected, we have to go into the command prompt in both PC and enter the command ipconfig/all. We are using PCB and we are pinging the PCA IP address to show us that both PCs are successfully connected. Now we know that the ping is a success. Now we are moving on to step 3, which is configure and verify basic switch settings. Step A. Console into the switch. Enter the global configuration. In order for us to achieve that, we have to use console connection, and we have to connect it from PCA to switch 1. In order for us to do that, we have to connect it using port USB 1 into port console. Now that we have to enter the global configuration mode, we have to go to PCA, and into the desktop we have to go to terminal. Then we press OK. Now in terminal we have to enter command enable, and after that we have to enter command configure terminal. Now we have to give a name to the switch according to the addressing table, which is S1. In order for us to do that, the command is hostname S1. Step C is that we need to prevent unwanted DNS lookups. In order for us to prevent the unwanted DNS lookup, we have to enter a command of no IP domain-lookup. In step D, we need to enter local passwords. We use class as the privileged execution password and Cisco as the password for console access. First step will be the first command, which is enable secret class. Then we enter a command which is line console 0. After that, we enter the password that we need according to the instruction, which is Cisco. Then we enter command login, and lastly we exit the config line. For instruction E, we need to configure and enable the SVI according to the addressing table. First step is that we need to enter a command of int vlan1. Then we have to enter the IP address according to the addressing table, which is 192.168.1.1 and 255.255.255.0 for the subnet mask. Next step is that we need it to stay on or not shutting down, so we need to enter the command no shutdown. Finally, we enter the exit command as usual. The next one is we have to enter a login MOTD banner to warn about unauthorized access. In order for us to do that, we have to enter a command ban MOTD star unauthorized access star. Instruction G told us to save the configuration. Therefore, we are just going to enter a command which is copy running -config startup -config. Then we have to display the current configuration. To do that, we have to enter a command of show running -config. Then we press more, 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 and more. It will show us our current configuration. Instruction I told us to display the iOS version and other useful switch information. So, for us to achieve that, the command that we need is command show version. The next instruction tells us to display the status of the connected interface on the switch. By using command show IP interface brief, it will show the interface of our current status. Now we have to configure switch S2 just like switch S1 from A to J. We will connect PCB to switch 2 using connection console. With the port of PCB is RS232 and the port of switch is console. Then we go to terminal of PCB and we press OK. Just like switch S1, we have to enter the global configuration mode. In order for us to do that, first step is we have to enter command enable, and then after that we have to enter command configure terminal. Now we have to change the name of the switch. So the command that we are going to use is command hostname s2. We use s2 because it is according to the addressing table. Step C is a way to prevent unwanted DNS lookups. In order for us to achieve that, we have to enter a command no IP domain-lookup. And the next one is we have to set up a password for console access. The first step is we have to enable secret class, and then we have to use command line console 0, and then after that we have to set up the password, which the question said is Cisco, so we have to enter command password Cisco, and then we log in. After that we have to enter command exit to exit the config line. Step E is to configure and enable the SVI according to the addressing table. So the first step is that we have to enter command int vlan1. After that, we have to enter the IP address for switch 2, which is IP address 192.168.1.2 and 255.255.255.0 for the subnet mask. And in order for it to keep running, we have to enter command no shutdown. And after all of it is complete, we can enter command exit. The next one is we have to enter a login MOTD banner to warn about unauthorized access. In order for us to do that, we have to enter a command ban MOTD star unauthorized access star. Instruction G told us to save the configuration. In order for us to do that, we have to enter a command copy running -config startup -config. Then we have to display the current configuration. To do that, we have to enter a command of show running -config. In order for us to know what version we are at right now, we have to enter command show version. And finally, instruction J told us to display the status of the connected interface on the switch. To get that, we have to enter command show IP interface brief. Instruction L told us to record the interface status for the following interface. In order for us to know what is the status for each of the interface, we have to enter a command show IP interface brief. S1 status for fast Ethernet port 1 is up, and for fast Ethernet port 6 is up as well, but for fast Ethernet port 18 is down. It is shown that for VLAN 1 is up. For S2 status, fast Ethernet port 1 is up as well as S2 protocol, and S2 status for fast Ethernet port 6 is down, and as well as S2 protocol. And for S2 status for fast Ethernet port 18, the status and the protocol is up. And for VLAN 1, S2 status and S2 protocol is up. Question M told us from a PC to ping S1 and S2. This ping should be successful. So, according to the addressing table, the IP address for S1 is 192.168.1.1. So, the command that we need is ping and the IP address for S1. And it is shown that it is a successful ping. And for S2, we just have to enter command ping and the IP address for S2. Both are shown that the ping is successful. And question N, from a switch, ping PCA and PCB. The pings should be successful. So, the IP address for PCA is 192.168.1.10. Therefore, the command to ping PCA is enter command ping 192.168.1.10. It is shown that the ping is a success. So to ping PCB, we have to enter the ping and enter command ping and the IP address. Both also shown that the ping is a success. Next one is reflection question. Number 1. Why some fast Ethernet ports on the switches are up and the others are down? The answer is the fast Ethernet ports are up when cables are connected to the ports. Otherwise, if the cables are not connected, the ports will be down. And the second one is, what would prevent a ping from being sent between the PCs? What could prevent a ping is a wrong IP address, media disconnected, switch powered off, or port administratively down, and firewall. To conclude our group project presentation, we have learned about how to utilize Cisco Packet Tracer for IP address subnetting, a step-by-step process on how to do and set up network topology, PC host, and how to verify basic switch settings. We also learned that switches are the basic and foundation to building a blocks for any network. They enable a lot of information sharing between connected devices such as computer, server, and many more. And that's it for our ITT300 group presentation, and thank you for watching.